Hello.
Hi everyone. Just a second. Let me just
Let me just mute this right here. Okay.
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 Hi. Yeah, I see people joining in now. Hi Fabian. Hi Prasanna. Hi Anthony. Let us know where you're from. Um okay, let me just Okay. So today I have a very special guest. This is JoMarie.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. So yeah,
Hello.
JoMarie, let's start with yeah, let me mute it as well. Okay. So hi everyone. Yeah, let's get started, Joe, with you introducing yourself first, and then
Mhm.
maybe you can get started with like how we met, like what was your what was your financial journey, your
Yeah, of course.
financial situation before we met, then we can get into it
Yeah.
a little bit later. So tell
Okay.
us more a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm JoMarie, but you can call me Joe. I met Christine actually on LinkedIn, and during that time, I started like my first like real job, I guess, out of college, and I was always interested in being like financially independent and just financially aware, and just I really wanted to be like smart about my finances, but I didn't have like the direction. And whenever I would research on my own, like on Google or just reading a bunch of articles, it just really felt like I was staring at like this huge mountain, and it just overwhelmed me. I didn't really know where to start.
Hmm.
But it's just interesting enough that Christine actually reached out to me on LinkedIn, offering me like the services that I really needed at the time because yeah, I was just really like lost in terms of like how to start my financial journey. But yeah, when I initially like talked with Christine on the phone, I don't know, I just felt like I could trust her already. Like we really had that camaraderie, I guess. Like right off the bat, I could feel like I could talk to her like a friend. But
Awesome. Yeah,
yeah, go ahead,
Oh,
Christine.
I was saying that I think it was fate, like you were looking for something, because I think
No, I
one of the
really
things
think
that
so.
we
Yeah,
connected on was that, we're both spiritual. So I think like,
yeah,
it was
definitely.
just fate, like, there was just a connection right away. So I'm really glad
Yeah,
you allow me, to sign up with me. So you have come a really long way. So everyone, I just want to say, Joe is like one of my favorite clients, and I'm not just saying
aw.
this because she does the work, she does the homework, she's on top of things. I think like I think when you got laid off and you were like so into it, and then like
Yeah.
it turns out you actually end up saving more money because
Oh
you were
yeah.
like getting
So
freaked out about stuff.
fun fact, when I met Christine, literally a month after that, I got laid off from my job. So
Hmm.
yeah, it was almost like perfect timing because it really like taught me how to budget in times of crisis.
Hmm.
Which I'll get to later on how it helps me now because I mean we're in a crisis too, and it
Yep.
really like prepared me for like this moment as well. But yeah, go ahead, Christine.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at another screen because I'm seeing people saying hi. Yeah, hi Rashid, hi Sanjeev, hi Mihad. So there's a lot of people there. So feel free to ask questions if you want, and then I can also
I can look
we're
at them too,
streaming.
right? The comments.
Yeah, I can see the comments. Yeah, so if you go to my post, you have to go to the post, and then you can actually see the comments live. So we're streaming to
Oh,
Facebook, to
okay.
YouTube, and to LinkedIn. So don't
Sorry
worry,
guys, this is the first
I'm
time I've ever
watching.
been live, so
Yeah, so I am so
I'm
honored you
learning.
came on board. So I'm really happy. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So okay, so okay, why don't we talk more about, I guess, no, the foundation of what we do with finances is our relationship with money. So why don't
Yeah.
you talk first about how was your relationship with money before we start working together, and then how is it now? Because I think we start working together probably
Mhm.
September. I think September of last year. I was looking at my spreadsheet. So yeah, it's been a few months now. We're still
Mhm.
ongoing, and then I appreciate you still continue to work with me. So yeah, why don't
Yeah.
you talk a little bit more about that? How was your journey then, and then what was your relationship? And what's
Yeah.
your relationship now? How was the journey?
Okay, so before I started with you, my relationship my relationship with money was really bad. I mean, I would kind of look at it as like I know it's something I should be thinking about, but I was too afraid to really like tackle it head on. But I just knew deep down it was something I had to deal with or I had to deal with. But yeah, I still had like a lot of student loans to pay off from college, and I had no idea what like a Roth IRA was, or like what a 401k, or like how to prepare for like retirement, or like how to invest in stocks. But these were all things I really wanted to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but once I started with Christine, she really surprised me with, I guess, the methods and tactics that she used to help me on this journey. Because I initially thought it would be a lot of like practical stuff, like, okay, here's like these spreadsheets, or here's like these lessons you should go through. But she started off really trying to get to know like um, my relationship in terms of like the psychology of it, like how my upbringing like influenced the way I view money, because that's something that really influences you in general, like how your parents raised you, and how your parents viewed money and handled money. Um, I don't want to be too like explicit on here, but my parents weren't like the best at like managing their own finances, and growing up, we always like struggled financially, so that also impacted me directly moving forward in life. But Christine just really like held my hand through it to a certain point where she stopped holding my hand. But first, she really like helped me understand like, okay, like the reason why like you're afraid of um, tackling your finances is maybe because like your parents were like that too. So it was interesting to see it in like a different way than just the whole like practical side of things.
Yeah. So and
Yeah.
then it's not your fault, like because like a lot of clients who come to me he needs help is because they just weren't raised in that environment. And then,
Yeah.
they I mean their parents don't know any better. So it's not really their fault. And then it's a little sad here in, United States. Like we are raised around, consumer, right? Credit card.
Mhm.
People just spend even more than what they earn. So yeah, what I was born and raised in the Philippines, and then we were using cash there all the time. And then when I come here to the US, there's credit card. Like, so it's so easy for people to just overspend, right? So
Yes,
yeah. So
definitely.
I'm glad you tackle all of that. So I guess so tell me more about like okay, what was your biggest struggle initially when we start working together?
Um, I think my biggest struggle definitely was changing my mindset on how I view money. Because everything always starts with your mindset too. Like you can, it's easy to just to say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like start being like smart about my finances and like taking those actions. But I think what I really struggled with was, um, yeah, like also just being like kinder to myself when I'm going through this process. That was really hard because
Mm-hmm.
I was always just like, oh, I'm never gonna get out of like this debt, or like I'm never gonna be like smart
Mm-hmm.
enough to like handle all like my finances. But
Mm-hmm.
um, once I just looked at it as just taking it one step at a time, like Christine never like overwhelmed me with like all this information. It was always like in increments. So, but yeah, overall, the biggest struggle I had was definitely like being patient with the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's super important. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm looking at the comments, and Rob Sharkey is saying, "I wish the subject was taught in school." So Rob, I have a university president who's gonna come on live with me. I think next week. So we're gonna talk about financial literacy in school. He even said we can't rely on the education system for that. So yeah,
Mhm.
we'll see what he says, Rob. So thanks for make that comment. So Liz, hi Christine and Joe, thank you for sharing this info with all of us. My dad recently suggested I invest in stocks rather than LinkedIn. Would love to schedule something with you next week. Yeah, Liz, so just schedule some time with me if you want. But I just want to be clear, I'm not an investment advisor, so I don't give specific investment recommendation. When I teach Joe about what Roth IRA is, how investments work in total, what
Yeah.
is ETF, what's index fund, but I will never tell my clients, you invest in this, that. So nobody should be doing that unless you are investment advisor and you are, and you registered with the state. So just to be clear on that. Okay, so I'm a coach and I'm not an advisor, and there's a reason I don't do that, because I want my client to manage their own finances, to be on top of their finances, because I don't want to do the work for them. I'm here to guide you so they know what they're doing and they're on top of their finances, because no one should care about your finances but you. Like, I mean, that's your money, that's not my money. So,
Mhm.
okay, let me look at the comment. Okay, so that's all right. So let's talk. Okay, so let's talk about you still have your student loans. We're not gonna get into the specifics. So like,
Yeah.
how do you feel? How do you feel about that now? I know, like, in the beginning that was part of your worry, but now I think, you're still working towards paying that off. And then, to be honest, if someone promised you can pay off your student loans in 3 months, I mean, that's BS, right? It will take time, and
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
depending on how much money you have. But the more important thing is that you're confident that you're going towards that. You're paying it off, it's in progress, and then things,
Yeah.
you are progressing. And then that again, that relationship with money, how do you feel about it? Like, do you feel like you are taking care of it? Are you progressing? So tell me more about that, your student loans.
Well, definitely how I felt about it before.
Hmm.
I was just like a deer in headlights. Like I had no idea. I didn't even check like how much I owed when I graduated. I was so afraid of looking at the number.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And fast forward to today,
Yeah.
like I actually have like the number written like on a piece of paper, so I look at it every day. Like that's how much you gotta pay off, but not in a way to like intimidate me, but just to
Yeah.
show like the reality of what I have to do in order to achieve my goal.
Yep.
But what Christine helped me with was just breaking it down to little increments. Like we just wrote down each like loan that I owed, right?
Yep.
And looking at the interest rate and which
Mm.
ones are higher than the other. Like I never looked at that in general before. I was just like, oh yeah, I owe this much, and I guess I'll just pay off like or pay like a monthly payment every month. But then there's like a better way to do it. It's like there's a strategy you can uh, do before like just blindly like making payments. But now I
Yep.
feel like I have a way better handle on like the best way to pay it off.
Yep.
Not just yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh no, Ariana is saying right credit and debit debt to income ratio in college years. Yeah, it's definitely terrifying. So yeah, and I want to say that you're not the only one with the deer in the headlights. Like, all my clients who have student loans, they have no idea how much they owe. They have no idea what their interest rate is. They have no
Mhm.
idea. Like, it's I think the only person who would probably know more about their student loans are probably, like, people who are really good with finances already. But for most
Yeah.
average people, like you I think there was one loan where, in like, it really ballooned, right? Because, like, you just didn't know about it. So now
Yes,
that you
it did.
yeah, so now that you look at it, so it's very important. So one of my homework for my clients, like, they have to list out all their student loans, and those can
Mhm.
be broken down in numbers, like, what, four or
Yeah, this
five
is
hundred
something they don't teach you in school. Like
Yeah.
they should actually have a class in college just for this
Yeah,
because yeah,
they will they will not teach you, because that's how they make money. They want to keep you
yeah,
in debt. Credit cards,
mhm,
they don't want you to pay off your balance. They want you to carry balance, because that's
yeah,
how they make money. Like, why would they teach you? It's like, no, yeah, keep on carrying balance. That's cool. They don't like people like us, because then we always pay it off. They're like, oh, they don't make money out of
yeah.
us, so they only make money from the business owners, right? So, but
Yeah,
for us,
and then
they
also
want,
like when you call in to make your payments,
yeah.
like I'm like, oh yeah, I want to pay off loan token 63. They're like, are you sure? Like, what?
They say,
Yeah, I think I
no,
remember
don't
like
pay it off.
that one, like the whole thing. So I'm just verifying this amount is being paid off on loan token 63,
Just pay
and
the
I'm like, yes,
minimum. It's
I want to
cool.
pay the whole thing, please.
Oh my god. Yeah. So it's so funny. So I want to go back to the wound. So you said, like, you didn't want to look at it. So I want to give an analogy. Like, let's say you have a wound, right? So it's a pain point. Like,
Mhm.
finances are a pain point for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if you compare that to a wound, let's say you have a big wound, or let's say you're a mom and you have a child and then they keep
Mhm.
crying. So if they keep crying or you have a wound, what do you do? Like, you have to look at it. So how
Yeah.
are you look at it, you look at how can you solve it. That's the first step to
Mhm.
solving anything. You look at your pain points, at your wound. And a lot of people like they just like, they're just like, oh, if I don't look at it, then I never have to deal with it. But then later
Mhm.
on it's gonna keep racking up till they get to the point where, okay, I gotta deal with this. So like their wound just keep getting bigger and bigger. But
Yeah.
as a normal person, like average, like when we see a wound, we wanna like heal it. We go to the hospital or like we go see a doctor, right? So same thing, like same concept with finances. If you have any debt or whatever, those are pain points and wounds. So what's the first step for you to heal? You look at it, you see what can be done, and then if you
Mhm.
don't know how to fix it, that's the time you seek help, because sometimes
Yeah,
wound you need to see a doctor. So that's
definitely.
the kind of, yeah, I want to compare that too. So I'm looking at the comments. Okay, Ariana said, how about the banks not taking cash anymore? They are the well, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with cash. It's just that I'm not a big fan of cash. Like I normally, I'm actually a big fan of credit cards. So if people like learn
Mhm.
how to be responsible, they always pay off their credit card every month. I'm all for credit card, because then, you there's just so much benefits to a credit card. You have safety, because if you pay in cash someone, there's no way you're gonna get that back, right? Unless you put a gun to someone's head and then, hey, give me my cash back. But with credit card, you can still call the bank and then say, hey, this was a dispute, and then I want to get that money back. So but it never will. Okay, yeah. Sanjeev said credit card interest is the most expensive. Yeah, definitely, i
Yeah,
i know for
definitely.
sure. Yep, those 12%, 20%, yeah, those are not gonna go away. Okay, so how did it go
But that's
again?
why you pay it off like before you get the interest like charged.
Yes, exactly. Or to me, usually, my dog here is like bugging me. So I have so basically, or the best way is that sometimes, one, depending on the client, we will actually do some refinancing, or if they have a good credit score. But if they don't have a good credit score, then they don't really have a choice but to just pay off the credit card. And usually, what I like is
Mhm.
that for most of them, it worked for them to actually pay the lowest balance first, so it will make them feel
Mhm.
better. But again,
Mhm.
it all depends on the client. So,
Yeah.
but because then they feel better. Oh, I got rid of one credit card, and then keep on going on and on. Okay,
Mhm.
so Joe, why don't you tell me more about, like, what are you up to right now? Like, what I know you do music composing. So everyone, if you're not connected with Joe on Instagram, she's on Instagram. She posts a lot of music stuff, so a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, why don't you tell me more about what you're up to now?
Okay, well, I mean, sorry, my throat. Well, what I'm up to now, I actually uh, worked as a community manager for a co-working space for a bit, but then unfortunately, I was put on furlough because of the whole COVID-19 thing that's happening. But no, I choose to look at it as a good thing too, because now I feel like I have a lot of free time to really focus on myself and my own like personal work too. So right now I've actually been working on a project uh, where I'm making my own like EP, where I'm like writing all the songs and singing and everything. So I'm hoping to have that out by my birthday on May 31st.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually working with like my friends on it. Like one of my friends, Tiffany, is like designing like my cover art for it, and then my friend Nick is mixing and mastering my music. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just I've never had the opportunity to really like focus on something I've always wanted to work on. I've always been working and like and studying in school all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just really taking this opportunity where I have all this free time to actually like finish like a project I've always wanted to finish. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm up to. I mean, I'm still like actively applying for jobs. So I mean, if anyone has any leads on any like social media specialists or like community management positions or even like photo editing, I've also done like photo editing
Mm-hmm.
in the past. But if anyone has any work they need help on, like let me know.
Yes, so if you're looking for like photo editing, she's really good at that. And then community manager, so just let her know, connect with her. And then Rob is asking, what's your passion? What do you really want to do? I guess Rob, you're asking Joe, right? Not me.
Oh, what do
So,
I really want to do?
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely passionate about music. That's one of my favorite hobbies, but I would say in like professional sense, in a professional sense, I've always
Okay.
wanted to work with brands, like doing social media and just working with other creative people and building something like bigger than myself. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what that really looks like in detail, but I've always known I'm a really creative person. I love collaborating with others and building like a vision together. So
Mhm.
whatever that might be, then I'm
Mhm.
over it.
So are you gonna do music video too and dancing or
No, I'm not a dancer. I'm more of like a singer,
so
but
back
I've
end?
always been
Okay.
writing music ever since I was younger. So
Mhm.
but yeah, I'm just gonna try it out for now. I'm just taking like a month to like finish this project and then,
Mhm.
see where it goes. Yeah.
Cool, cool. Okay, so okay. Emmy says so good, Christine. Hi, Emmy. Hi, Kyle. And then Majida said your own music. Awesome. Yes, that's very awesome. I have like no
Uh,
idea how how to even start on that one. Okay. So let me see. Yeah, so I guess like from now so now that so now that you're comfortable with your finances now, and then we're kind of like we're in maintenance mode, like now.
mhm.
So everyone, we when me and Joe started, we're probably seeing each other, I don't know, every week or every 2 weeks. But now like Joe has graduated. I always say graduated because like she's just so good now. I'm someone like
Aw.
someone graduate are the ones who are just like they know how to be on top of their finances. Like I don't have to handhold them anymore. So in the beginning,
Mhm.
yes, I have to handhold them because a lot of people struggle with just like just paying attention to their money or even just tracking. They're like, I don't want to see how much I spent. Like it's like, no, you have to see it. And then
Yeah.
like those are
Mhm.
the challenges. Like they don't want to track it. Like
Mhm.
whenever things happen, because like I tell them every penny you spend or every money that comes in and out, you have to track everything. Because if you don't track, like some of them, they're like, oh, I didn't know I had that subscription. Like, was I
Yeah.
paying for that? It's like $20 a year or whatever, or
Yeah.
20 bucks a month or something. So
Mhm.
you have to pay attention. So I think now, like, so when they get comfortable with that, so in the beginning they always struggle. Like, we have to work through the emotions. Like, what's going on? Like, why are you so afraid of looking at your money? So that's the time we deep
Mhm.
dive into their history, how they were raised and stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
think we went through that, and then like you understand how the spreadsheet works, and then you're in good
Mhm.
shape and you're looking for a job, and now you're even getting
Yeah.
employment for now, which is kind of getting
Yeah.
you
So it's
through. So
definitely been helping.
yeah, so that was a positive thing, the employment thing.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's let's look at the oh, Virginia said congrats on graduating. Yes, yes,
Oh, thank
she
you. Thank you.
graduated. So yeah, I was gonna say at first we were seeing each other every week, and then they gradually become every 2 weeks, then
And then it
now
became
it's like
like
every
once a
three
month.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so it's like just to check in, maintenance mode. And then
Mhm.
usually like some of my clients who graduate and they want to keep moving for maintenance mode, so we're still continuing just to make sure that
Mhm.
people sometimes people get they get excited about something. Like one of my clients, she graduated, but I think like she went into a life event again that she's like, oh
Mhm.
crap, I'm spending a lot of money, so she stopped wanting to look at
Yeah.
spreadsheet again. So we had to work through that again. Like these emotions
Mhm.
always pop up, so she's like, yeah, you're right. So she's going back to it again because it's just
Yeah.
like you have to look at it this way. Like, okay, she's a mom, so it's easier for me to connect with that. So let's say your daughter is crying, or like some things are always gonna happen with your daughter. They're not always in good. They're
Mhm.
not always good. They sound like they have a bad attitude, or they're gonna act up. So if they're acting up, like what do you do? Do you ignore them? It's like, hey, no, no, let me put you in the garage or something and
Yeah.
close that. You don't, right? You look at
Mhm.
them. You really have to deal with that. So same thing with money. You always have to look at it. Like you have
Mhm.
to see money as your best friend almost. Like, if your
Yeah.
best friend needs something, what
Mhm.
can you do? If you treat money your best friend, then you will become money's best friend. Money is gonna take care of you. So yeah.
Yeah, like you
And
are what you attract, and then vice versa.
exactly. Oh, I
Like,
love
I
it.
definitely believe
We
that.
yes, we we
Because
really
like
connect.
it makes sense. Because like I mean, I attracted you in a sense, like because at that moment or last year, I was really looking for someone to help me.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So, Joe, if you can give a message to the viewer of who's like maybe struggling with some money, like and then they're still kind of like, oh, I don't need help. Maybe they're ashamed to get help. So, what message do you have for them?
Well, definitely, I would say to be patient with yourself, but then sometimes you can't be too nice to yourself either. Like sometimes you just have to look at yourself in the mirror and just all the crap you've been ignoring for so
Mm,
long and just really like take ownership over it. In a way, it's like you loving yourself,
mm,
like before I would be I'm before I would be like way too easy on myself. I'd be like, oh no, like when the time is right. But sometimes you have to choose that time. Like you have to make that time now to like to overcome like those obstacles. Like sometimes you just have to do it.
yep.
But definitely find that balance between patience but also like just jumping into the water and
Yep.
going for it, I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at any last. Yeah, Rob said The Secret. Yes, I've seen that one. Lauren said yes, spreadsheets work very well. Yes, it works very well. So yeah, I really appreciate Joe you
Yeah,
coming
thank
on, and then
you.
yeah,
It was
thank
fun.
you so much. This is like you're my first guest debut, so you made it really fun. So hopefully
Oh,
this
I'm
is also just as
glad.
fun for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much for everyone who tuned in. I think we had like 20 people on LinkedIn. I don't know how many on others, but yeah. So thank you so much. You
Yeah,
can actually
thank
go there and then
you.
check it out. I'll tag you there so you can
Okay.
see the code. So
All
just hang
right.
on, and then I'm gonna end the broadcast. Thank you.
Okay.
1 second. Let's see. Okay.